Hello everyone and welcome back to our very last lecture for the semester. This week we're turning our attention to integrated theories and some of the different theoretical aspects that need to be present in order to create a strong integrated theory. The biggest question we need to ask ourselves when discussing integrated theories is whether or not it is reasonable or really even necessary to combine different theories when the original theories seem to work just fine for the most part. To answer that question, we'll just say it depends. Which theories are you trying to integrate? Are you trying to combine the whole theory, portions of the theory, or are you trying to take different theoretical concepts and just try and form your whole new theory over here all on your own? And typically when two theories are fighting one another, or are competing for explanatory power, it might be useful to break those theories apart and rejoin them in such a way that makes conceptual sense. We're trying to find the best theory that has the most explanatory power, so if it means that we have to create a new theory, then maybe that's something that should happen. So what exactly is an integrated theory? Integrated theories are theories that combine the concepts and central propositions from two or more prior existing theories that are combined into a new single set of integrated concepts and propositions. Integration can take several forms. Conceptual integration involves an absorption strategy, arguing that concepts from one theory have the same meanings as concepts from another theory, and we work to combine them into a common language and a common set of concepts. Propositional integration involves combining or linking propositions from one or more theories into a single, unified set of propositions. Conceptual integration is very common in theory development, and a review of this type of integration essentially would involve a general review of the entire field of criminological theory. Propositional integration as a distinct development strategy is relatively rare and a more recent occurrence. In some instances, propositional integration is based on theory commonalities, and in others, it involves integrating competing theories. The number of theories combined in the past has ranged from 2 to 4, and there is substantial variation in the structure of proposed integration. Proponents view theory integration as an alternative strategy for theory development and testing that addresses some of the limitations of the more traditional competition strategies. They also claim increased levels of explanatory power compared to that of the individual theories that are combined, and greater inclusiveness in types of criminal behavior that can be explained. The most common form of integration typically involves combining social control and social learning theory. This is something that Akers, Sellers, and Jennings discuss extensively in chapter 15 of their textbook. Ron Akers has been showing the world how social learning theory overlaps with social bonding, labeling, conflict, enemy, and deterrence theories for years. But most commonly, social learning theory is associated with Hershey's social bonding theory. Akers has been a strong proponent for conceptual absorption and has indicated that Hershey's element of belief is nearly identical to social learning theory's definitions unfavorable towards law violation. Furthermore, he believes that Hershey's attachment is close enough to the concept of differential association, especially as both concepts rely on the intensity and the importance of the relationship between the individual and his or her peer group. The only problem that exists between the two theories is what the theory seeks to predict. Akers suggests that social learning theory predicts delinquency, and Hershey suggests that social bonding theory predicts reasons why people would abstain from delinquency. Although Akers believes that the two can be integrated together, critics state that social learning theory is the stronger of the two theories, and that it will simply devour anything else you want to try to connect it to. Specifically, differential association remains the strongest concept and typically overwhelms all other predictor variables within a model, even the other elements of social learning theory. Delbert Elliott's integrative model of strain, bonding, and learning has resulted in a strong integrative theory that takes into account three of the strongest general theories of criminology available. The development of this theory really took place before Gottfredson and Hershey finalized their conceptualization of self-control theory, which is one of the reasons why Eliot and colleagues use social bonding instead of self-control. The theory proposed that individuals follow one of two pathways into delinquency. In the first pathway, individuals with lower levels of social control begin interacting with delinquent peers. In this pathway, the reduction in social control allows individuals to associate with other delinquents, experience peer pressure from these peers, and learn how to commit delinquent offenses. In the second pathway, individuals with higher levels of social control at some point experience failure to achieve positively valued or conventional goals. As a result of this experience, individuals begin associating with delinquent peers, experience peer pressure from these peers, and learn how to commit delinquent offenses. Eliot et al.'s theory does not indicate what the strain needs to be, just as long as something occurs. This could be a death in the family, divorce, adversity at school, really anything that fits within the mold of strain theory would work here. In short, the theory argues that individuals who experience low and high levels of social control are capable of becoming delinquent. The central variable that plays an important role in the delinquent development in both pathways is one's exposure and commitment to delinquent peers. However, the big disjunct in the theory rests in the attachment and differential association aspects of bonding and social learning theory, respectively. Hershey states that weakened attachment results in delinquency, whereas Akers states that increased association with delinquent peers causes delinquency. Eliot et al. Decided to incorporate the concept of differential association rather than attachment for their integrated theory, as it does not change the directionality of the predicted outcome. Shortly after the development of Eliot et al.'s theory, a similar integrated theory was proposed by Terence Thornberry. Much like Eliot and his colleagues, Thornberry borrowed elements from social control and social learning theories. Specifically, he proposed an interactional theory that delinquency is primarily a function of individuals associating with deviant peers. The opportunities to associate with these peers is argued to be the direct result of the weakened social bonds experienced as individuals progress through the life course. So already you should be thinking about this from a longitudinal perspective. However, unlike Eliot et al., Thornberry excluded any conceptual involvement of strain theory in the advancement of his interactional theory. Thornberry did account for structural factors such as race, community cohesion, socioeconomic status, and other neighborhood characteristics, so there's a bit of social structure included in there as well. Two distinguishing features of Thornberry's interactional theory set it apart from other integrated theories in general, and Eliot et al.'s theory specifically. First, interactional theory emphasizes the presence of reciprocal effects in the causal structure of the onset of delinquency. Unlike most theories that assume or identify causal pathways in one direction, interactional theory assumes that important variables within the model possess reciprocal or feedback effects. For example, although weakened social bonds might lead an individual to associate with delinquent peers, it is also theorized that the association with delinquent peers further weakens social bonds. Second, interactional theory places an emphasis on the developmental nature of the onset of delinquency and crime. In other words, Thornberry articulated a theory that explains the onset, persistence, and desistance of delinquency and alters the importance of the concepts at these various stages of the life course. It is notable that although parental attachments are important in the explanation of the onset of delinquency early in the life course, these same concepts become relatively weaker in the explanation of the persistence of delinquency, as individuals navigate the adolescent period of development. Integrated theoretical development takes time to complete. You must conceptualize, develop the theory, test the propositions you are proposing, and hope that the data confirms what you have hypothesized. There are so many different attempts out there to combine theories into something new and innovative, but often they fall short of what others have already done successfully. The predictive strength of Acres' social learning theory makes it an attractive theory to try and manipulate, but there has been limited success in actually formulating something that has enough predictive strength that can stand its ground against the concept of differential association. Most theorists prefer the original theories, or separate theories, I should say. If social learning theory has enough predictive strength on its own, is it worth it to try and combine it with other theories in other ways? Or are you just perverting what is already effective? For many, integrative theories make for good learning experiences but are not used with the same frequency that other theories are used in. If you really want to solve a theoretical problem, go ahead and try and figure out the full conceptualization of Acres' social structure social learning theory. Primarily focus on the issue of gender. That's been what has been tripping up Ron and his colleagues for years. You figure that out and you'll go down in criminological history. Trust me. Okay, so we made it, guys. We've come to the end of the lecture once more, and this time we've come to the end of the semester. This was the very last topic I wanted to share with you this term, and I hope that you enjoyed all of the theoretical information that I was privileged to provide you with. We have gone through so many different theories and have explored the strengths and weaknesses of each one. For those of you who are going the thesis route, consider testing a theory or incorporating a theory as a possible explanation within your project. Theoretical testing is one of my favorite things to do research-wise, and I have used so many of them over the years. There are a ton of different ways to incorporate and test theories, as you saw this term, and you can build a great research project by using theory as your research base. For those of you going the comprehensive exam route, you now have all of the tools that are necessary to be able to explain and apply criminological theory to a specific problem. You should be able to explain the tenets of all theories we studied this term, and you have seen how they have been used to set up rehabilitative programs, reentry programs, delinquency assistance programs, and everything else in between. This might be something that you encounter again at some point when you're preparing for your comps. Keep all of your class notes, your books, and these lectures as well, as they will be helpful study guides for you later on down the road. As always, I need to thank you for your time and your attention. I really enjoyed this semester with you, and I think this turned out to be an amazing class in terms of the material that we covered and the assignments that you needed to complete. Hopefully you all felt the same. If you have any last-minute questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me so that I can help you all out. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and please enjoy your break. I hope you have some time to relax over break before the next semester starts up again. So thank you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.